Good morning, all of you. Good morning. Can you hear me?
Good morning, ma'am.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you able to hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. We're taking long time to respond, early morning, the two on Sunday morning. So how many of you are there? 9 members. All the 9 members are there. Okay. Can you write it down? All of you, I'm giving you a question. Please write it down. Are you ready? In a pea plant, the trait of yellow seed, capital Y in brackets, is dominant over green seed, small y. Have you noted down? All of you?
Ma'am, can you repeat the question?
In a pea plant, the trait of yellow seed, brackets in brackets, capital Y, is dominant over green seed, small y. Explain the inheritance pattern of F1 and F2 generation with the help of a cross following the rules of inheritance of traits. Following the rules of inheritance of traits. Show the visible characters in F1 and F2 progeny and write the genotypic ratio and percentage. Have you all noted down? All of you switch on your videos. Switch on your videos. I want to see all of you. Switch on your videos. I have even posted the question in the chat. Please check. All of you switch on your videos. No problem. Please switch on your videos. Yes, I want to see all of you. Switch on your videos. Yes, write down the question and work out the problem.
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, actually I'm new to the academy and this is my first biology class. So I don't know what is happening.
Okay. You write down the question and then explaining you can learn. Okay. Switch on your
Can you
video button.
ma'am, where are the questions, ma'am, in the chat box?
In the chat box I have posted. See.
Ma'am, can you resend it?
I have already resent it. It's there in the chat box already. You want, I'll keep again. Yeah, I already again posted it. Akshita, switch on. Amrita, Sanyu, Arman, Aditi. Pooja, Durlab. I want all the videos to be on. Now everybody was able to see. Yeah, please write the question. Your time starts now. I'm going to give you 10 minutes maximum. Or I want all of you to switch on your videos. How many times I'm asking you all to switch on the videos? You need to switch it on. Nobody is interested? Switch on your videos. So whoever start showing me the question, answer in your video chat. Then only I will see and start continue with the chapter. Otherwise, I'll stop the chapter here itself. I'll not explain you all the dihybrid cross. Harita, you are not visible, Harita.
Ma'am, no.
Yeah, now you are visible. Finished?
Ma'am, no, half plate.
Yeah. Do it. Remaining all also switch on your videos. Whoever start finishing, your time is 5 minutes left. Whoever start finishing, switch on your video and show me the answer. Done, all of you? Are you done? Now start showing me. Harita, start with you.
I'm just one.
Okay, all of you stop. Show me your answers. Show me your answers. Harita, yeah, show me your answer. Can you bring closer? I cannot. Up, you just show me the upper part. More upper. Bring, take it to more upper. Yeah. Keep your book down. You need to put the lines, Harita.
Okay, ma'am.
And also in F1, you only one will come. Heterozygote, that will like that you need to put. Okay, put the lines. Without lines, it's not a complete answer.
Okay.
Next, who is going to show it? Akshita? Akshita, Amrita? Sanyu? Durlab? Please switch on. Don't waste time. We need to complete the dihybrid cross also today. If you show me where you are going wrong, I can suggest you all and explain the answer. Yes, Atra, are you able to do anything this time? Are you able to do? Huh?
Ma'am, I don't have any idea how to solve it, ma'am.
Okay, no problem. We'll see. You first listen to today's class. We'll see.
Yes, ma'am.
Sanyu, show me your answer. Can you bring closer? Atra? 1 minute, Sanyu. 1 minute. Show me your answer. I did not see. No, Sam, you not like this. One parent is homozygously dominant. One parent is homozygously recessive. Monohybrid cross, I'm asking. Indirectly, I'm asking you all monohybrid cross. Do again. First only, we will not start with heterozygous. Durlab? Amrita? Enough now, all of you switch on your videos and show me whatever you have written. I just want to know whether you have understood or not. Then there's nothing if you have done wrong or anything. I'm not going to scold you all or do anything. Just show me what you have written, that's all. Are you going to show or should I stop the class? So what is the question I have given here? Can anybody read the question?
Yes, ma'am.
Please read the question.
Ma'am, the question is, in pea plant, the trait of yellow seed, capital Y and capital Y, is dominant over green seed, small y, small y. Explain the inheritance pattern of F1 and F2 generation with the help of a cross following the rules of inheritance of traits. Show the visible characters of F1 and F2 progeny and write the genotype ratio and percentage.
Okay. So here, what is dominant? One parent is completely dominant with capital Y and capital Y. One parent is completely recessive. Small y, small y. When we put the cross, what we will get in F1 generation? We'll get capital Y and small y. This is F1 generation. So all are completely what they are in yellow color. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
So here 100%. Here all the progeny is 100% dominant. Now we'll go for the F2 generation. So what will happen in the F2 generation? I'm going to keep it up. Wait a minute. So this is F1 generation where all are heterozygously dominant, that is yellow color. And all are 100%. If you put in form of person, all are 100% yellow. Now when we come to F2 generation, we'll break them or segregate them. We'll do a self-cross here. Here this is cross-pollination. Here it is, whereas in the after F1 generation, it is self-pollination. So self-pollination will be between capital Y, small y and capital Y, small y. When we segregate them as gametes, and put across, what we will get? In this manner, we'll put across. So here we'll be getting capital Y, capital Y. Again here we'll get capital Y, small y, again capital Y, small y, and small y, small y. So 3 of them are tall plants. If we put in a form of a phenotypic ratio, three of them are tall, one is a small, sorry, 3 of them are yellow, one is green, because it is homozygously recessive. Okay, when we put in a genotypic ratio, one is homozygously yellow, 2 are heterozygously yellow, and one is homozygously green. When we try to put in form of a percentage, because they are all asked in for percentage, we can put it 75% are yellow when we put a cross, and 25% are green. Understood? This is how this is your previous year question only. I have been asking you all. Only TV. Stop that one. Only. Sure. Stop that. Have you got it?
Yes.
All of you. Now show me your answers at least now. Then I can go forward with your. Show me your answers now. Nobody wants to show me the answers? Okay, then it's up to you all. No, I cannot see you, Vaishnavi. No, I cannot see. Okay, then. So this is it. So next, this is about the monohybrid law, and this question comes under the law of dominance and also in the law of segregation. So now we will be moving on with the hybrid cross, or the third law which we have not completed, that is law of independent assortment. So what is law of independent assortment? Please note down the definition. The law of independent assortment states that the alleles of different genes are inherited independently within the organism that reproduce sexually. The law of independent assortment states that the alleles of different genes are inherited independently within the organism that reproduce sexually. Means what it wants to say is, if there are two traits, example, hair color, hair nature, means whether hair color means whether it is black color, brown color, white color, gray color, whatever it is. And hair nature means whether it is a straight hair, a wavy hair, a curly hair, whatever it is. Okay. So these two does not influence each other. Means hair color will not influence the hair nature will not influence the hair. Both of them will be inherited independently. So this is what he wants to say. So all the different traits are present, and if we, although they are inherited combinedly, they does not influence each other. Okay, so he wants to explain this by using the cross known as dihybrid cross. Okay, so the law of independent assortment states that during a dihybrid cross, that is, here we will be using two traits. In monohybrid cross, we have used only one trait, that is either tall, height, or seed color, or seed shape, anything. We have used only flower color. We used only one trait over here. Whereas in dihybrid cross, we'll be using two traits. And those will be assorted so that each trait is independent of the other. So they can, by this will be showing you the dihybrid cross. This is the most important question, 5 marks question. You need to know, write it down properly, and also here in this cross you need to put in form of a Punnett square. You know, we cannot put, because this is because we are here taking two traits, always the dihybrid cross will be kept in a Punnett square. Whereas monohybrid cross can be kept in a cross form or in a Punnett square also. So let us explain the dihybrid cross, and also please note down what is present at the side also. So whatever traits they give, this is the way you need to write the dihybrid cross. Even the monohybrid, for you, the example today I have given you the LOC. Whatever they give you, you put in the similar format. You need to change those labels and do in a similar format. So what he did is, he has taken two parents. One is completely homozygous dominant, one is completely homozygous recessive. Okay, so here he has taken two traits. What are the two traits? That is, you can see he has taken seed shape and seed color. These are the two traits he has chosen. So coming, he gave capital R, donates to this. So let me write here. So he has taken two traits. What are those? What are those?
Seed shape and seed color.
Seed shape and seed color. So for this, first we will be starting with the seed color. Seed color, yellow is dominant. So for the dominant one, he gave capital Y, whereas green is recessive. So he donated small y. In the same way, for the seed shape, round shape is dominant. So he gave capital R. Whereas wrinkled is recessive. So he gave small r. So now again tell me, what is the dominant color in seed? What is the dominant one? It's my answer.
Ma'am, yellow color, ma'am.
And what is the recessive color? Recessive, what is the recessive? Green color. Okay. And in seed shape, what is the dominant shape?
Round.
And what is the recessive one?
Wrinkled.
Wrinkled. So these are the two different traits he has taken. So he has taken one parent which is completely dominant. That is, it has yellow color seeds and they are in round shape. You can see the color and also the shape of the seed. Yellow and round. Whereas this one is, whereas the second parent is completely homozygous recessive. Means it is having green color seeds and they are wrinkled. You can see this. So the genotype will be capital Y, RR. Whereas for the second parent, it will be small y, small r, small r. So when we take the gametes, we'll get capital R and capital Y. Here small y and small. Now he did a cross pollination, similar to that of the monohybrid cross. So in the mono, he got the first generation where all of them are dominant. Means all the seeds, all the plants gave only yellow and round seeds. And we all know from the monohybrid cross, the F1 generation is heterozygous in condition. That is capital Y, small y, capital R, small r. Now what he did self-pollination, similar to monohybrid cross. And he put it down in form of a Punnett square. So he has taken on both the sides two different or the same gametes. Okay. So when we get how many gametes from this? We get 4 gametes. So how many combinations we can get? First capital Y, capital R. Similar, like we do know different combinations. Next, capital Y, small r. Next, small y, capital R. And Y and R. Like what we got in the monohybrid. So this side, he kept all those 4 gametes, and this side, he kept all the 4 gametes. Now he started to combine them. So in the first box, you can see he combined these 2. Again, in the second box, he combined these 2. Third box, he combined these 2. Fourth, again, he combined with these 2. Similar manner, he did a crossing and put it in form of a Punnett square. So based on this, what we got is he got completely 9 of them are yellow and round in color. 3 of them are green and round in color. 3 of them are yellow and wrinkled in color. And 1 is green and wrinkled in color. Okay. So all these, whether they are homozygous or whether they are heterozygously dominant. So all these are yellow and round in color. It can be homozygously dominant or it can be heterozygously dominant. So whatever the ticks I have kept, how many of them are there? Can you count? How many are there? Homozygous, yellow and brown in color combination?
9, ma'am.
9. And how many now? I'll put green and brown. So in green and brown, I'll put a into mark. Now count and tell me how many are there. How many are there?
3, ma'am.
Yes. Now I'll put a dot for the yellow and wrinkle. How many are there?
3, ma'am.
Yes. And finally, I put a underline. How many are there?
Ma'am.
Green and wrinkle? Only 1. So now the ratio, phenotypic ratio from the dihybrid cross he got is in the after F2 generation, that is 9:3:3:1. So 9 are yellow and brown, 3 are green and brown, 3 are yellow and wrinkled, and 1 is green and wrinkled. So this is the phenotypic ratio of the dihybrid cross. Usually they don't ask for the genotype, but in one or two questions in the previous years, they have asked the genotypic ratio also. So here you can write down the genotypic ratio. 1:4:1:1:1:2:2:2:2. Okay. Have we noted down the genotypic ratio also, all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So based on this, what he wants to say is both the characters are independent. They are inherited independently. So none, one will not be influenced. Means the yellow color will not influence the round seed, and round seed will be not influencing the color of the seed. So based on this by using this dihybrid cross, he was able to tell the contrasting characters are inherited independently and does not influence each other. So this is the most important question. Now please write down. I'm just stopping the screen. Have you noted down the cross? Have you noted down the cross? Now I'll give you all two characters. Okay. Just to see whether you have understood or not. Please don't do like what you have done in the beginning of the class, all of you. Because these two are very, very important questions. That is the monohybrid cross and the dihybrid cross are the very important questions. You will be getting compulsory one of them as a 5 marks questions. That's two. And this year, you please remember your all of you know that your exam evaluation will be in 2 modes, in 2 semesters. So you can, these questions will be asked compulsory by you all. So I'll give you all true characters. Okay. Flower color. Please note down. Flower color. Flower color. Sorry, I'm not getting. Please write write down. Flower color. Purple is dominant. Purple is a dominant color. And white is the recessive. Next, seed shape. Round is dominant and wrinkled, that is wrinkled is recessive. So you will have one parent is homozygously dominant containing purple flowers and round seeds. Whereas another parent is homozygously recessive, containing, here I am giving white, okay, P only will give, white flowers and wrinkled seeds. Now draw and put me a dihybrid cross. I'll even put the slide on so that it will be, you can copy, no problem. You, by using these characters, what I have told, that is purple and round, white and wrinkled. You now put me the cross properly in this manner and show me. Done? All of you? Can you start showing me? Atrav, are you able to understand what I have told you?
I've completed.
Completed? Can you show me?
Is it visible?
Who is showing? 1 minute. 1 minute. Harita? 1 minute, Harita, I can see. Yes. Down you need to write, Harita. 9 are what? That is important. 9 are what?
Ma'am, I have to count it right, ma'am.
Yes, right. Always will get 9:3:3:1. But you should mention what are 9. Here, what are 9? Purple and brown.
Yes, ma'am, purple and brown one.
Mm.
And 3 I got purple and like wrinkled one.
Ah.
And the other one I got wrinkled and it is white in color.
Mm.
And then I got white color wrinkled.
Yes, that you need to write it down. Okay. You should keep the genotype also. 9 you keep, and you need to write down also at the bottom of the curve.
Okay, ma'am. So phenotype will be like 9:3:3:1, ma'am.
Yes.
And phenotype will be the same as the last
Same
time.
as the what I have given. Always it will be the same. Only the traits will be different. I want whatever trait you give, you need to put in this way on.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Remaining people. Remaining. You people want to show me or not? If you finish, you show me. Otherwise, I'm going to complete the class. So in this way, you need to write it down, Harita. This is the way you need to write it down. So at the end of the question, you need to write down the observation and how many you got. That is compulsory for this answer.
Yes, ma'am, I have written, ma'am.
Okay. So what is this? By the conclusion of this dihedric cord experiment is round and yellow seeds are the dominant characters. Occurrence of new phenotypic combinations show that genes round and yellow seeds are inherited independently of each other, because we have different combinations. What the parents does not have, here we also got green and round, yellow and wrinkled, new combinations also we have got. So based on this, we can say that all the characters are inherited independently. So now how do the traits get expressed? Okay. So how do the traits get expressed? So this is the flow chart that how the traits will be expressed. Okay. So this is sometimes asked 2 marks or 1 mark answer. So first, the cellular DNA will be synthesizing the proteins or enzymes. Now the proteins or enzymes will produce more hormones, and from the more hormones will be influencing the trait. For example, here the tallness, that is the height of the plant, will be influencing it based on the type of the. So what are those that control the characters or traits? Genes are those which controls the expression of these characters or traits, because the cellular DNA contains the genes, and these genes synthesize the proteins. And these proteins, the proteins usually are nothing but the enzymes. These proteins will increase the synthesis of more hormones. And if the hormones are increased, they will be either influencing the trait. For example, tallness of the plant. So this is how the traits are expressed, and what are the things that control this expression of these traits or characters is the genes. This is actually a 1 mark question. So moving on to the next slide. What is sex determination? Okay, this we have studied in the how do organisms reproduce also. So what is sex determination? The method by which a male and female is established in an organism under genetic control is called as sex determination. Means a method which is used to distinguish whether we are males or whether we are females when they are inside the organism itself. Means when we are still unborn, when we are in a form of a fetus stage itself, this method will help us to determine whether the fetus, that is the baby to be born, which is in the mother's stomach, we call it as a fetus. Okay, you will be able to determine whether it is a male or female. And what are the hormones that control to determine the sex? They are sex hormones. The sex hormones control the determination of the sex. And this plays an important role in development of the sexual characters. So traditionally, this is the symbol given for the males. And this is the symbol given for the females. Okay, males are donated with a circle and an arrow symbol, and females are donated like with a circle and a plus at the bottom. We usually call give a symbol. Is given for the males and the females. So, what are the characters responsible for the sex determination? If we divide it into two types, two factors plays an important role. I'm talking about all the living organisms, not only humans. We are talking about all the living organisms. In some organisms, environmental factors plays an important role in the sex determination. Whereas, especially in the human beings and mammalians, genetic factors plays an important role in the sex determination. Understood? So, what are responsible for determination of our sex? Okay. In some organisms, environmental factors determine the sex of that organism. Whereas in some, the genetic factors determine the sex of the organism. For example, in turtles, especially in the turtles, environmental factors plays an important role in the determination of the sex. Means at the temperature where the egg is fertilized, based on that the gender is determined. For example, that is in the turtles. If the eggs are incubated above 32 degrees centigrade, if they are incubated at a temperature about 32 degrees centigrade, they develop into females. And they are incubated below 28 degrees centigrade, they develop into males. So if the eggs are incubated above 32 degrees centigrade, they develop into females. If the eggs are incubated below 28 degrees centigrade, they become into males. And suppose that if the eggs are incubated between these two temperatures, that is between 32 and 28 degrees centigrade, we get a mix of the two sexes. We can get either males or we can get either females. So in the best example is the turtle, where the environmental factors determine the sex of the turtles. That is, if the eggs are fertilized above 32 degrees centigrade, they will be developed into females. If they are below incubated or fertilized below 28 degrees centigrade, they will be developed into males. Understood? And this is asked so many times in 1 mark as well as in the 2 marks questions. Previously, we used to have 2 marks, no? So in these 2 questions, they have asked this one repeated. So in case of the best example is the turtle, where the temperature plays an important role. That is, temperature is nothing but the environmental factor. Okay, plays an important role in determining the sex. Whereas in case of mammals, or especially example you can take as humans, the sex chromosome, a pair of chromosomes. We know all, we have 23 pairs of chromosomes. Out of the 23 pairs, 22 are known as the halosomes, whereas 1 pair, that is the 23rd pair, is known as the sex chromosome. So the pair of chromosomes called as sex chromosomes determines the sex of the humans. So in case of females, the sex chromosomes are XX. And in case of males, the sex chromosomes are XY. Understood till here? Any doubts?
No, ma'am.
All of you. Only Harita is responding. Nobody is responding. So only I'm asking. So what are sex? As I told you, what are sex codes? The 23rd pair of chromosomes is known as the sex chromosomes. Or 22. Out of these, 22 are the autosomes, or we call them as autosome, whereas the last pair is known as the sex chromosome, or it is called as allosome also. The 22 pairs are known as autosomes, whereas the 23rd pair is known as the sex chromosome or allosome. So in case of humans, XX donates to the females, whereas XY donates to the males. So now how the sex determination takes place in the
Can you
human
show
beings?
the previous slide, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, can you show the previous slide? Yes, ma'am. Just yes, ma'am.
Can I move on?
Yes, ma'am.
So how the sex determination plays an important role. Means how we will be able to get female, or how we will be getting the males. So this is the XY and this is the XX. So when we break them into two parts and separate them as gametes, from the father we get 1X, 1Y, whereas from the mother we get 1X and 1Y. And when we put across, so this X combined with this X, with that of the mother, again this X again combined with the second X of the mother, this Y combines with the X of the first X of the mother, this one again with the second X of the mother. So what are the offsprings we get? Half of them will be, when we put a grass, half of the probability we'll get is a female child, half we will be getting as a male child. So this two way, when we put, we get XX, XX. So both 50% probability is there, we get a female child. And if the Y combines with the 2X, the 50% probability is there that we get a male child. Here see, so mother is not, genotype is not a decisive factor over here to determine whether we get a male or a female child. Here father chromosome only plays an important role to get see whether we get a male or a female child. Okay, only when the Y combines only we get a male child. So mother is having a homozygously completely only X, whereas father is heterozygous XY. Okay, so the father is the genotype is a decisive factor where we get a where it will be determined whether offspring born will be a male child or a female child, and always there will be a 50% probability. It can be any of the male or it can be any of the female child. So why I told you father here is the decisive father, or a male is the genotype is the decisive, is because if we all know from many generations, they say that female is responsible for the birth of the offsprings and female is the responsible for the birth of the girl child or the boy girl child, and she is responsible if the girl is born. But when we see the genotype, it will be seen that father genotype plays an important role in determining whether the child is born the male or child is born the female based on the combination. Okay. So females should not be blamed for the what is the sex of the fetus to be born. So this is what is called as sex determination. And please write down, we need to put a cross compulsory when they ask you the sex determination. This cross should be compulsory. Whether they ask you for 3 marks question or whether they ask you for the 5 marks question, you need to put the cross and write it down in this way. The sex determination in humans is of two, that is XS and XY types. That is XS determine. I have not written here. XS is the males and females, and XY is the males. Humans have total 23 pairs of chromosomes. 22 pairs are autosome and one is known as the sex chromosome or allosome. Please remember that. Here it is not there. Sex chromosome or allosome. ALLOSOME. In humans, females are homomorphic. That is, they are XX. And in males, they are heteromorphic. That is XY. During meiosis, here the division, the cell division is called as meiosis. All the gametes produced by the female contains only the X chromosome. That is, they contain 22 autosomes plus 1 sex chromosome. Whereas the males, whatever they produce, they contain 2 gametes. That is, they contain 22A plus X and 22A plus Y. Fertilization of egg with the sperm carrying 22 plus 8 will be giving the female child, and fertilization of egg if carrying the sperm with 22 plus Y chromosome will be giving the male child.
Mom, I have a doubt, Mom.
Yeah, ma'am.
Mom, in the previous slide, Mom, they said that only 50% of possibility, Mom, but why is it like that?
50% based on the sperm, because here the sperms contain both either of this or either of this. The male sperms can contain 22A plus X, or the sperm is nothing but a gamete. So it may contain 22 plus AX or 22 plus AY. So any of them, it is only a 50% probability.
Okay.
Done? Have you finished?
Yes, Mom.
So with this, we have concluded the heredity part. Have your schools told anything about the new syllabus?
Yes, Mom. CBSE has launched circulars, Mom.
Huh?
Mom, CBSE has released circulars, Mom.
Okay, what is the syllabus?
Mom, 1 second, I'll open it. Mom, for term 1, they have given, for biology, it is only human reproduction, I guess. Mom, only life process, Mom, for term 1.
Okay.
And for term 2, we have how do organisms reproduce, heredity and evolution.
Evolution is there.
Yes, ma'am, heredity and evolution chapter they have given fully.
Okay, I'll check it down.
Ma'am, they have given only heredity, Mendel's contribution, laws of inheritance.
The only
And
that is there, not
Yes,
evolution is
ma'am,
not there.
not evolution, ma'am.
Okay. And our environment.
Ma'am, our environment they have not mentioned.
Okay, I'll check it down and let you know, all of you. Huh?
Yes, ma'am, it is there, ma'am. Natural resources, under natural resources they have given, ma'am.
Yeah, I know that.
Yes,
I'll
ma'am,
check
it is
it down and let you all know.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. With this, heredity has been completed. I'll check the syllabus and see what we will do next. Okay, all of you be prepared for the exam when it is next Monday, no?
Yes, ma'am, we have given Monday.
That is how do organisms reproduce.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, ma. Thank you, all of you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.